Podcast. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Make sure that's all good. Can you guys see me and hear me? Make sure you let me know in the live chat if you have any issues at all whatsoever. How's everyone doing today? We got a wonderful show for you tonight. It's going to be a short and sweet one because I do want to get back to a little COD action. That's Call of Duty. For those of you that don't know, it's obviously. So we got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about audio compression, why it matters to you. We're going to talk about Windows equalization. And guess what? Today was photo shoot day for me. That's right, guys. I got some photos taken, got some thumbnails made, and things like that. So that was a lot of fun. I'll be talking about that. Before we get started today, I just want to look into the chat and see who is here. Let's see. Golden Wolf, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. Got the Fixation 500. How you doing, sir? Got Crypto Bagel, my favorite type of bagel, actually. And we got Soul 7. And Soul 7, thank you for being a TekShinji loyal follower. That is why you have that purple icon next to your name. And if you guys want to join, just hit that membership button below. All right. Let's see. Creating Space says you're addicted. What does that mean? I'm addicted. I'm not addicted to anything other than my nice premium decaf coffee I just brewed. All right. So addicted. What is that even supposed to mean? Take a look at chat real quick before we get started. Fixation says, no, why time change? I will watch 8K VR while I wait. Soul 7 says, I just got out of a custom match with that streamer ON1C. I'm not sure who that is. Let me know in live chat who that is. I'm pretty sure it's someone popular or exciting or whatever. Let's see. So, yeah, how's everyone doing today? Today we had a pretty busy day. Actually, my day today started yesterday. Had another photographer and video content creator over, and we worked on a lot of stuff together. Got a lot of logistical things done around the house, and we set up the studio for a photo shoot day, and that was a lot of fun because we got a lot of good photos taken and stuff like that. Let's see. Oh, Creating Space is here. How you doing? By the way, Creating Space, what do you mean by I am addicted? Because I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Am I addicted to starting late, or what's going on with that? Okay, let's see here. So, things I want to talk about today, while you guys are all catching up on the live stream and whatnot. So, I want to talk about my audio compressor that I got from eBay. It's actually a 1995 vintage. That's right, guys. This thing is old enough to vote. Yeah, this thing is in fact only 7 years younger than me as a person. So I can't show it on camera, unfortunately, but I'll try to get some screen grabs real quick. Let me go to the internet here. MDX 2100, and I'll show you some pictures of it. Let's see if I get some pictures over here. Let's see, pictures. Ah, there's some good pictures of it. Yep, here we go. This is it. So, oh, why do they make it so tiny? All right, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and transition over so you guys can see what I am talking about. Yep, there we go. Okay, so this, my friends, is in fact a Behringer audio composer. This is the MDX 2100 model, and as you can see, wow, Honey Gain, thank you. Honey, oh, not Honey Gain. What is this? Honey, go away. Go away. Really, dude? How would I just like put this over here? There. Okay, so what this does, guys, it's just like your traditional audio compressor that you have either in hardware or in audio and software on your computer. Most of the time, I deal with the compressor, it's in software. So this is a hardware analog compressor, okay? So the way this baby works is you have 2 channels. So this is actually broken into 2 channels, but I'm using that as stereo left and right. The audio comes into those channels, it gets processed through this machine, then it gets sent back out. And I have 2 sets of cables. They're XLR cables, right? They convert XLR to 3.5, then XLR back to 1/4 inch, because my nice headphones here take 1/4 inch. So the way it works, let me go back here. Oh, this image is kind of low res. You actually can't see it. Let me find one that's a little better. While I find one that's a little better, I'll take a look at chat in a second. Let me find one that shows all the knobs and stuff a little bit better, because that's kind of not great. Let's see here. Open image and new tab. There we go. So this is actually not the same thing, so I'm not going to show that. Man, I should have had this prepared before, right? Like, that would have seemed like the responsible thing to do. So I'm going to use an image of something very similar. This isn't the exact same one. It's a little bit different. This is actually a little bit better, to be honest. So you can see all these little settings here, right? And all these little buttons, okay? I know it's a little confusing, a little overwhelming at first, but essentially what this allows you to do is you take the audio and process it to where it's the type of sound you want. So usually the way these things are used are in situations where you have like a live concert, usually something live, right? Something you don't have time to control in the moment. So that way when people talk quietly like this, and when they talk really loudly, the audio comes through nice and clear. In fact, what you're hearing right now is going through my Go XLR hardware and software audio compressor. That's why when I talk real softly and when I talk really loudly right into the mic, it doesn't clip, because the machine in real time is compressing the audio to take my very highs, crunch them down by a ratio I've set, and take my lows and bring them up to a certain ratio. Now, you might be asking, Shinji, why do you have one of these when you already have one? Well, these compressors are normally used with audio coming into it, right? And then audio going out. I am using mine in reverse. I'm sending the output of my speakers into it and filtering that into my headphones. You might be asking, Shinji, what's the point of that? Well, have you ever listened to music or watched a movie where there's a very quiet scene and everyone's whispering, then they get really loud all of a sudden and you gotta turn the volume down? That is exactly what I don't like. I like a little bit of consistency. What this will do is take those highs, chop them down, take those lows and bring them up and kind of keep them more into a median range. So the specific reason I got this one is for a game called Call of Duty DMZ Warzone, so I can really hear footsteps and stuff. Unfortunately, in the game, they do not allow you to adjust individual sound things, because then everyone would just turn footsteps up to maximum, right? So the way this is going to work, so when you're shooting your gun, your own gun specifically, or someone's right next to you, if it's not suppressed, it's very loud. It actually hurts my ears. Or if you get in a car and you driving a car is also very loud in the video game. So the way this works is basically I can take all that audio, process it. It'll limit how high it can go. So the car, the gun, it'll automatically lower the volume or compress the volume during those parts. And when I'm quiet and walking around listening for footsteps of other players, it'll bring that up, right? Totally an analog interface, nothing digital attached to it whatsoever. Activision Blizzard will never know I'm using this until I make this video, of course. Then, of course, they're going to ban my account. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. Excuse me. So that is how this machine works. And now, here's where we get into the funny part. You might be asking, why did I get this? So actually, believe it or not, the reason I got it was I wanted to be able to hear quiet things in the game without blowing out my eardrums. Normally, when I get into a car, I reach over to my Gold XLR like this, and I pull down the audio channel for the game, because I basically have 4 faders in front of me, and a fader is the type of thing you see on a soundboard that goes up and down. I have 4 of them in front of me. They're split off my microphone, the one I'm using right now, my voice chat audio, my system audio, and then my video game audio, or the application I'm using audio. So for example, I could reach over right now and lower the volume of my voice, but I'm going to put it back to where it was because I liked it where it was and you guys want to be able to hear me. It is that quick I can make changes. So with this compressor, it does it all in real time, totally analog, and I could play the game without blowing out my eardrums whenever I get into a car or fire my gun. And you might be going, Shinji, how much did all this cost? Well, it wasn't cheap. So this Behringer Composer MDX 2100, it came out in, quite a while ago, and they were pretty expensive back in the day. But now that it's been some time and it's no longer cutting edge technology, it's pretty cheap. It cost me, shipped to my house, $55. And of that $55, I needed to buy another $30 of cables to adapt this correctly. So we're talking around $85, $90 so far, and I might need to buy one more piece, which I will get into a little bit later in this live stream. So I actually hooked this thing up today. Actually, before I get into how it performed, I'm going to check the live chat real quick and see what's going on. Take a look. Soul7 says, creating space kind of like Fixation's addiction to using a band controller. I don't know if Fixation's here still, but yeah, basically. Creating Space says, COD. I am not addicted to COD. I can stop at any time. I'm not hurting anyone, okay? Let's see. Golden Wolf says, this guy made it. Huh? Who made it? Not exactly sure. Soul7 says, yo, Golden Wolf, whoa, them nails in that pic. Them nails in that pic. What nails? Huh? Is it the Behringer Compro... Oh, yeah. You're right. Okay, I see what you're talking about now. Those nails don't look very good. You're right. I actually got a compliment from someone saying my hands are very nice. And I don't understand why they would say that, because I actually dipped these in oil all week and deal with sharp metal pieces and chips. My hands are actually pretty messed up. I actually got my nails manicured one time, and they didn't even last a few days in the shop. I couldn't keep it. But yeah, those nails look pretty not something I'd want to deal with, that's for sure. Geek of all trades, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. I know I've seen you here before. Thanks for joining, man. Soul7 says, that isn't bad for the cost of considering the edge it gives. Yeah, so like, you can buy a cheaper compressor. In fact, you can go totally software and make it all work in Windows, but that is where you run into trouble. Now, let me give you guys a quick little story. Before I do that, drink some water. So, let me give you guys a little story. Basically, what happened was, so one of the mods in our Discord, oh wow, that just narrowed it down to one person, right? Somebody in our Discord was playing the COD, and basically what happened was, you know, they're only able to use a certain type of controller because, you know, for whatever reason, they're differently abled than the rest of us, and they wanted to use this controller, but COD says no, that controller is considered a hacking device, especially the weirdo software you gotta run in the background to use it. So they got banned and all this other, it's this whole story. But I don't want that to happen to me using any type of secondary software causing any issues like that, all right? So basically, I want to make sure nothing like that happens to me, and I don't want anything bad per se to happen because the game actually scans your computer in the background while you're playing it, and they know literally everything about your computer. I'm pretty sure they even scan the files that are on the system to see if there's anything on there they don't like. So the advantage with this thing is that it's totally analog, there's no digital connection, and they will never know. Now, there's a big disadvantage to this, is that the clarity of the audio does get sacrificed quite a bit, and there is some ground loop noise interface, especially when my GPU is running. My computer's been getting better at it, but it's still kind of there, and I'm going to make a video about how all this works, so make sure you get subscribed if you haven't already, because it will be coming out sometime this year. I don't know when it will come out exactly, but it'll come out sometime this year. So that is a story of why I'm not going to be using software versions of this audio compressor on my computer, because specifically I don't want situations like that to happen. Soul7 says no software. Ban hammer. Yep. Yeah, I don't want software either. That would be really bad. We don't want any software because Call of Duty sees the software as a bad thing. And that's the beauty of having an analog device from the 1960s, is that it's so low tech that no one will ever know what it's doing. It's there's no way for them to monitor this unless they like watch a live stream and I talk about it. All right, guys. So let me know what your thoughts are about my little trick here to play Call of Duty, almost cheating wise. I don't think it's cheating. I think it's, you know, I am spending money on a device to help me do things, but that's what it is. Yeah, so that's all I really wanted to talk about the audio compressor. The other thing I'm going to talk about, I'll get back to live chat in a moment to see if you guys have any questions about audio compression, the video game itself, and why I would need something like this. I'll look in a moment. But essentially, in a nutshell, it'll protect my hearing. And that is very important because out of all the things I can do well, out of all the things I can do well, as in there's not very many, one of them is my color fidelity with my vision, one of them is my taste, and one of them is my hearing. So I don't want to lose anything else because I can't really, you know, I'm not really good mentally with other things, but I have good color fidelity. I have good hearing at the moment. I can hear decibel ranges that are like in the early 20 and late teens right now still. I haven't lost that yet, even though I've damaged my hearing quite a bit in the automotive industry. I'm trying to retain that because as you get older, you start losing frequencies. A little way you could try this out is go online, and especially if children or stuff like that, go online and find these audio tone generators that make that tones that little kids can hear and adults can't. And when your kids are around, just play it. You won't be able to hear it. You won't be affected, but your kids will go, ah, what is that? And when you're in a crowd of people at a convention, you turn this on, it's quite funny to see like everyone just kind of go like this. And you know, those are all the young people. Well, some older people can still hear, but generally speaking, like more than 90%, they're pretty young because your bones in your ears fuse over time and they don't work as well. All right, so let's take a look at chat real quick before we move on to the next subject of the night. So Geek of All Trades says, what if you run it in a VM through a dedicated VLAN, get the full digital experience, but limit the peek through the window, so to speak? So the problem with that is they will know you're running out on a virtual machine, and they will know that. So basically when you install Call of Duty, I forget the name of the software, but it's like Riot or something like that. Basically it's software that runs in the background that scans your entire computer and checks your network activity and all this other stuff, right? So I don't know if that would work, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't because it sounds like something that someone would have done already if that was the case. Creating Space says, games often see that they are in a VM and ban you for cheating. Yeah, exactly. Greek of All Trades says, Creating Space, makes sense. Not a big gamer. I didn't know that. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't say I'm a big gamer, but I do like to play it socially. I like to play it for fun sometimes. Wouldn't say I'm addicted or anything like that, though. CPPC Tech, how you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for being here. Ricochet. Yeah, Ricochet. See, I don't know how to read or pronounce things, so yeah, Soul7 is absolutely correct. That is the company or software they are using to make sure you're not cheating. CPPC Tech says, howdy, Soul7, howdy. Yeah, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining. Yeah, so that is the reason why I'm using a completely analog interface and the way I'm going about it. And now I'm going to talk about the results. So I hooked everything up and I got it working today. And I think I can actually show you to show like, hey, look, I'm not making this up. It's actually right here. So here's my nice Sennheiser HC600 pluses right here. These are really good. They're open backed, so you can kind of see into the speaker there. There's like a grill here. They're open back, so what that allows is my ears to breathe and I can still hear my environment while I'm have these on. And I feel that open back headphones kind of give a more natural sound than a closed back. I feel like the closed back ones sound a little like you're in a submarine or something. That's the best way I could describe it. All right, so this thing's kind of heavy. It's a lot of hardware. I'm gonna try to pick it up here. So here it is, right here. This is the, you're like, wow, all that. Yeah, like I said, guys, this is back from the 1995 era, before they really used a lot of really precise and miniaturized integrated circuits. So this is a Composer Audio Interactive Dynamic Processor, model MDX2100. So basically, if you look at the front of this thing, oh man, these cables are going to make it kind of hard to move. You can see all the little settings I have there. And I think I have it perfectly tuned to work correctly with the system. So if you look at the back here, this is, yeah, I know, it looks kind of ridiculous. This is what I have to do. So this cable right here This is a 3.5 millimeter male, or sorry, I'm gonna get canceled. 3.5 millimeter external to internal 3.5 millimeter external to XLR internal going into the machine, and then this right here, this black cable that is adapted to this connection right here, this is a XLR external to a 1/4 inch internal connector. And what that allows is for me to convert from the 3.5 jack out of my audio system, my Go XLR, to a method that this audio composer can take and still work with, because it is based on things for like vocals, like a microphone. That's where this would most commonly be used. Excuse me, I'm gonna move my thing here. It's like getting stuck on the chair. Yeah, so that's where it would most commonly be used. So I bought those cables to adapt it. Like I said, it was about $30 cables, and there's about $5 or so more of stuff I need. I'll get to that in a moment. And that is how that machine is set up. So the results, this is what you guys really want to know, right? Did it work? I want to say it mostly worked. So being that this is a analog interface, there's only so much data coming through an analog channel that it can deal with. It's not a digital signal. So it can only do stuff electronically in the machine so much, only so much. So basically, when I get into a vehicle in Call of Duty, it peak caps it and it compresses it. So I still can hear what's going on, but it is quieter, right? I don't actually have to, it's not bad anymore. I could drive around on a Ski-Doo, a boat, a car, whatever, and it doesn't blow out my eardrums. The other thing is, yes, I can fire my own gun without suppression on the gun. There's no suppressors, no silencer on it, and it doesn't blow my eardrums. It gets that volume level and it caps it at a certain amount, so it doesn't go above that. Now the downside. This is the part where I didn't realize was an issue. Not only does this thing make footsteps louder, it makes everything louder, including environmental noises, your own footsteps, and like your gun noises. So when you're racking it, when you're hitting the bolt release, when you're reloading, when the magazine's hitting it, you really hear all that metallic stuff almost the same volume of everything else, because it's taken the high and the low and made it more even and brought it up. So it does work. I can really hear footsteps, and I need to tweak it a little to where it doesn't hurt my ears so much because you got to remember, it's like a constant stream of noise now, and it's not digital. It doesn't know what to cut out. It just does everything the same. So it does work and it does help me. But one thing I did notice, well, this machine does not give me any more skill. I have not killed anyone with this machine yet. Every person I've heard coming in and I went up to them, like I snuck up to them because I knew exactly where they were. I wasn't able to kill them in time before they got me. They all had better guns than me, so I'll say that. But it was kind of difficult to actually make it to where this gave me more skill. It didn't really give me more skill, but it gave me a slight advantage. All right, let's take a look at chat. Let's see here. Geek of All Trades says, I enjoy a trip around Forza Horizon sometimes too, lol. Relaxing, but on edge at the same time. Soul7 says, what bullets do when they bounce? What bullets do when they bounce? I don't know. What do they do when they bounce? Is that a joke? PPC Tech says, you have tried IEMs? Oh, in-ear monitors. Yes, I have those actually. I do. I use my headphones for general purpose things because the IEMs are they're too isolating. I use IEMs. I actually have a set of Shure ones that are really nice. I only use them when I'm like filming and I'm monitoring audio. That way I can only hear what the mic is hearing, so I can make sure that it's picking up what I need. It blocks out the surrounding environment. I've switched to IEMs over the year. Headphones hurt my ears and my head because I wear glasses. So actually, you see these headphones I'm using? I did a lot of research when I bought these. So see how they do this? So believe it or not, your head isn't flat like that. That puts pressure on the forward part. So my head specifically, if we were to look at the top-down view of my ear planes, the planes where my ears are at, the top-down view is like this. This part will be the back of my head, the tips. My head's not like that. My head's like this. So whenever I put headphones on that were flat, it would put too much pressure right here and on my glasses. So when I put these on, right, I'm gonna make sure the right side is right there. You can see how they kind of went back. See, that's forward, and they kind of flip back because that's resting right against my head. And one thing nice about these is that they're got a minimum adjustment that's smaller than my head, because my head's pretty small. I was born with a tiny head. So a lot of headphones actually do not fit my head correctly. I got to put like a spacer in there and stuff. So this actually had the small head size that I can use, and it rotates, and also it's like a high quality monitor headphones almost. It's like the very top end of the prosumer. I wouldn't say it's like high end professional. Those are quite expensive, but it's pretty good. Let's see. Creating Space says, pretty sure you still say male and female, just don't say the stuff IDE drivers were made. IDE drives were. IDE drives were? I don't know what that means. Yes, you can still say male and female. So I work at a company where we have a lot of male and female connectors and stuff. We actually can't call that. They're all called internal and external for obvious reasons. Let's see here. Soul7 says, creating space. He couldn't pronounce it well enough, so I thought it would be like Jeopardy. Ha ha ha! That's so funny. Creating space or Rick O'Shade, your favorite Irish friend. Creating Space says we were all born with tiny heads. No, actually, that is not true. So if you look at a baby, like a fresh-born baby, you notice the head is like, I don't know, 1/5 of their whole body. The head is pretty big, and their eyes are pretty big. Your head and your eyes don't grow as much relative to your body when you're born. Little tidbit there. Yeah. So anyways, I get what you're saying. PPC Tech. I also wear glasses, obviously, and these are a little more comfortable on my ears. You gotta like just do some shopping and find what works for you. Every human, unfortunately, is made different, and your biology, your genetics, your race, all this stuff affect how your ears are shaped and where they are. So if you look at my glasses, right? If you look at the legs, you see how they like different? They're not the same, right? That's because my head is not the same. You see how one leg's the other? One leg is higher than the other and stuff like that? That's because my ears are not the same. One's actually closer to the front of my face. One's actually higher. And my nose is not centered and all this other stuff. But they make all these things to be totally symmetrical. And, most humans aren't, believe it or not. Even one of my eyes open more than the other. And, some people notice that, some people don't. But now you guys are going to probably look for it. All right, guys. So that is all I had on the script for today. Right now, we're going to go into the Q&A section opening portion of the stream. After this, we're probably just going to do some gaming and stuff like that. If you guys are wondering why I'm wearing a kimono, which is a Japanese, it's technically female. This is a Japanese kimono. I was doing a photo shoot and I thought it'd be fun to put on a kimono while we're doing the shoot for like some thumbnail photos and other photos with like, me holding the slate and the camera and stuff like that. It's got a real obi, and all that good stuff. So it's actually a real kimono. Big thanks to my friend that came by that was, they're really, really into this stuff. I actually don't know how to tie the obi correctly or anything like that. In fact, the way I tied it the first time, apparently that is how a prostitute ties it. So I got a big, am I like not in center here? What's going on here? Yeah, I got to go more to the right. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now I'm in center. It was how a prostitute tied it. So I almost made a big mistake before I took my pictures. So it is a good thing that I had a lot of help with this. Otherwise, it'd be very, very funny when we make all those photos public and people go, "What are you, a prostitute?" All right, let's take a look here at the chat. Golden Wolf says, "Damn hunchback." What hunchback? I guess it's kind of hunchback because I got there's a big bow on the back of this thing. Soul7 says, "You can't even Korean, right?" Well, that's the thing. No one's gonna know, and no one seems to care. They just equate Japanese and Asian and Chinese and all into the same thing. I would say that people are getting more into K-pop nowadays, and so they know that. But I feel like most people either don't care or they don't know, and they just associate all that Asian stuff in like one thing. So I really don't think it'll make a big difference in stuff like that. At least to me, at least in my experience growing up, like literally, I'd say maybe 1 out of 20 people get my ethnic background right the first time I meet them. They always go Chinese, Japanese, then like Laotian for some reason. Then Korean's like way at the bottom of the list. They never pick the Korean one first. It's always Chinese first. I know that. All right, guys. By the way, Andrew, thank you for helping me out with all that cool stuff the other day. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to contact you a little later on. But we're going to be going into games sometime today to probably right after the stream. I got my coffee here and I got my nice nice snack. Got a nice little cookie thing here. I'm ready to go, man. Okay, guys, so that's going to be it for tonight's stream. Do you guys have any questions for me? We're going to just go ahead and end the stream here pretty soon. Yeah, I got to say, so the only thing coming up right now, so I've been using these composite propane tanks, which I know is kind of not very exciting, but you know, it's lightweight. It weighs the same amount as a 20-pound tank, but it's a 31-pound tank, and it definitely holds more propane, obviously. It's been lasting me, for my heat going 24/7, it's been lasting me about a week on each tank, so it's pretty good. We got to go see what happens with those tanks in the longevity wise, but that's definitely content I'm going to make on it as well, because in my opinion it is technology related, and I think it's kind of cool stuff. You don't really see it very often. How do I join the Discord? Yes, Mastermind, creating space. So if you guys don't know, I am part of a Discord called the TekShinji community Discord. It is linked in the description below, guys. Please go ahead and join if you haven't already. That's where I'm going to be going to play some video games right after the stream within a couple of minutes. So if you want to join me there, go ahead and go there as well. Let's see. Oh, yeah, DCA Mining After Dark. Yeah, those are good guys. Those are good guys. Go check them out. I can't link it at the moment because I got something open on my screen which I can't touch, otherwise you'll see it. So, but I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you to everyone that joined tonight. We'll see you next, same bad time, actually not bad time because we started an hour late. There's a train that was late. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll see you, same bad time and same bad channel. We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you to everyone that joined, and we'll see you in the Discord. Have a wonderful night.